All right, guys, if you will give your full attention, we are ready when you are.
All righty.
Okay.
Just kidding. I don't know what y'all are nervous about. It's my face. It's just the back of your heads. Oh, you're going to do it? All right. Really?
If you're having trouble logging in,
Then you got this.
just click on the link and refresh it, and you should be able to browse it then. Thank you.
What?
I know, just bear with us. It's a work in progress. Just go ahead and flip that light on, that other light on, please. Yes, sir. Oh, I know, those lights are crazy. They're all wired up wrong. I'm not gonna go to the PowerPoint.
All right.
All right, everyone give your attention, please.
All right, y'all. So, like she said, my name is Samantha Poklemba. I'm from Mohawk Industries. I work for our Learning Resource Network, which is just a fancy way of saying corporate training. So, before I worked at Mohawk, I was actually a teacher. So, my job now, instead of teaching kids, I taught middle school, is teaching the adults at Mohawk. But we also do some community outreach, like coming here. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about character and discipline, which are two employability skills that we definitely look for at Mohawk. So first off, what is character? Character is ethics in action, when character is one's habitual way of behaving. Character is not the same thing as reputation. Character is what you are. I liked this quote because there are a lot of different definitions of what character is, but this one kind of distinguishes between character and reputation, which I think is important. I also like this one. Character is how you treat those who can do nothing for you. How willing are you to go out of your way to help other people if they can't give anything back to you? With everything that's going on with the weather right now, you've seen lots of probably commercials and advertisements about donating to help the hurricane victims in Texas, and now there's a hurricane coming in Florida, and you may be thinking, well, I don't know anybody in Texas or Florida, but some of you may be feeling pulled to help those people, and that is part of your character. And our character is what we do when we think no one is looking. How many people in here play sports or are on band or something along that where you have to practice? How many have heard the saying that champions are made when nobody is watching? My coach used to say that to me all the time. I played soccer in college, and most of the work is put in when you are not playing a game, right? It's when you are practicing. It's when you are putting in that extra time, and that is part of your character, being driven to make yourself better. So, dealing with character at Mohawk, this is part of our corporate business strategy. I don't really want to bore you with all of the business lingo, if you will, but I felt like it was important to bring up here a few of the things that I think deal with what the character of Mohawk is as a company. So treat our employees fairly and cultivate talent. So employee fairness, make sure that people get paid fairly, they get time off, you get benefits. Part of Mohawk is we've got these things called Healthy Life Centers, which is basically a doctor at different plants, so you don't have to go outside of work to go get health care, which is something that is really nice. And to cultivate talent, so to make sure that people are continually improving themselves. That's pretty much why I have a job. So people need to go to training so that they can move up in the corporation, and that is something that Mohawk is big about on making sure that they promote from within. Once you're in there, they like you to stay there. Be innovative in all areas of the business. So one thing that we like to call our group is like a think tank. A lot of times that we are tasked with an idea of, let's say, virtual reality or 360 videos. How can you use those in training? And that's pretty much all the information that we get. And so there are 6 people on our team, and we just sit back and say, okay, how can we use these things? How can we be innovative? How can we make a difference within the company and ultimately within training as a whole? And we're doing a lot of fun stuff with VR. I basically get to play with video games and get paid for it, which is fun. Do the right things for our communities. Part of that, like being here today, we do a lot of time with some STEM camps over this summer. The entire month of June we spent at different schools doing STEM camp. That's for a little bit younger kids than you all. That was for mostly elementary and middle school kids. But the fact that my job was to go and take time off from being away from the office and go in and help teach kids about the STEM field and a little bit about Mohawk kind of says a lot about the company because, like I said, I wasn't in my office basically the entire month of June. Okay, so back to character just in general. Character is the combination of qualities or features that distinguishes one person, group, or thing from another. Now, good character traits include honesty, integrity, responsibility, perseverance, and empathy. Of course, there are bad characteristics, but we're focusing on the good here. So one thing that we hear a lot from our recruiting team is that you can find people with the skills to hire them, and you can find people that may not have all the skills, but you can teach them and fill in those gaps. But it's these soft skills, if you will, like character and discipline, that are more and more hard to come by. So people that are honest, that have integrity, that persevere, that are able to do problem solving, and being on time, that's a huge thing too. Those are all good character traits and something to definitely consider. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Nobody can build your character for you. That is up to you as yourself. So now going to discipline. So I'm not talking about discipline like if you miss curfew and your parents are grounding you. Like that's a different kind of discipline. This type of discipline is doing what needs to be done even if you don't want to do it. How many of you, when your alarm went off or your mom or dad woke you up this morning, thought, I don't want to get up and go to school today? It's okay, you can tell the truth, right? When my alarm went off, I thought, I don't want to go to work today. I am tired. I stayed up way too late watching Game of Thrones last night, and that's a problem because now I'm really tired. However, I got up, I got ready, I got my kids ready, got them off to school, and then I came to work because that's what needs to be done, even though I didn't really want to do it that day. Now, being here was actually a motivator. I wanted to come here and talk to you. Sorry, I didn't make that disappear. Following through on what you said you would do. That's a huge thing when it comes to working. If my boss said, I need this report done on Friday, and I said, yes, I will have it to you on Friday before I leave, and then I leave for the weekend and he never got that report, do you think that he's going to be very happy with me? No. Do you think he's going to give me more responsibilities? Probably not. So that's a huge thing, following through on what you do. And that's not just in work, that's just in general too, right? Part of being a good friend or a good boyfriend or a good girlfriend, if you say you're going to be there, you have to actually be there and follow through. Determination to achieve goals. That's also a big thing. Setting goals and being able to make them realistic enough that you can meet them. There's something called SMART goals. Has anybody heard of SMART goals before? It's one of those acronyms that people like to throw around a lot. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. That's a SMART goal. Maybe I'll come back and talk to y'all about that another time. And then pushing yourself to improve. Like I said, I played soccer in college, so I kind of always go back to the athletics aspect of this, that my goal was to play soccer in college. I wasn't ready to be done playing. So I had to push myself to improve. When I was a sophomore, I was told, you're probably not going to be able to play in college. You're too short. I'm very short. And I was a goalkeeper. But I said, no, I can get faster. I can get stronger. So I pushed myself to do that. And that was just part of being disciplined. And I do think that it's interesting that your school wanted me to talk about discipline and character together, because they definitely complement one another. If you have a good character, you're more likely to have strong discipline, and vice versa. If you don't have integrity, you're probably not going to be very disciplined and follow through on what you say you're going to do. So a few things on improving discipline, because like we said a minute ago, most of us raised our hands when we said we didn't want to get up in the morning, right? So you have to kind of push yourself to improve and to be more disciplined. So these are some tips I found that I thought were good. Start on a Monday. If anybody's ever tried to do like a new diet or a new workout plan, or just started to just change your mindset, if you start on a Monday, you're more likely to follow through for the rest of the week. Whether like if you miss a day, then you're like, oh, well, this whole week is shot, so I'll just start it next week. So starting on a Monday is actually a big thing. Write down your reasons for self-discipline. If you write down what you want to do, you're more likely to follow through on it. Visualize how you will benefit from your own efforts. I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's a little tacky to have like a vision board, if anybody's ever heard of those, where you put pictures up and those are the goals you want to attain. However, people actually say that that works for you. So if you need to visually see it, if you're a visual person, if pictures will help you, if you can just see it in your mind, like you're going to score that touchdown on Friday night, then that's great. You can just visualize it. Prepare a plan of what you'll say and do if temptation arises. So if you want to skip class one day, what are you going to do? If somebody says, hey, let's go out for lunch and then just not come back for the rest of the day, are you going to be able to turn around and say, no, that's not a good idea. That's not going to help me achieve my goals. Combine something you want to do with something that you need to do. I like to, when I run, I listen to audiobooks, which is kind of a nerdy thing to do, but that's okay, because I like to read. So it's something that I want to do is read, but I can't really read and run at the same time because I'm not that coordinated, so I listen to audiobooks. And then high temptations and hard to reach places. I love candy. I like to hide candy from myself and my children so that I won't eat it too much, because, again, that's just a temptation that's hard to reach. Self-discipline is a muscle you can exercise and strengthen. These simple techniques will build lasting behaviors to enable you to reach your goals. It's referring to the ones we just talked about. And let's start now. So I have this video of this nonprofit called Because I Said I Would. It's a really interesting movement that I hadn't heard about until I looked this up. And basically this gentleman, and it goes into the story a little bit, he made a promise to his father, and when his father was very sick, and he said that he would fulfill this promise, and then his father passed away before he could actually finish what he said he would do. So he turned around and started this concept of Because I Said I Would, on following through on whatever you wish to attain. So having that self-discipline and being of good character. So, can somebody hit the video? Sorry. This is a video in the middle. Or not. That's okay. Okay, no worries. That's okay. I can send y'all the link so you can see it if you would like. But I've got some examples of them anyway. So basically, if you sign up for this, because I said I would, they will send you 5 little note cards, and you can fill out whatever your promise is. And they've got clubs around the country, and you could just go on their Facebook or Instagram, and you can find them as well. So like this one says, I promise to focus on my schoolwork and less on other people's opinions. The 7 principles of, because I said I would, compassion, self-control. It doesn't want to work. Ooh. Sorry, I did out of order then. That's all right. So another one was graduate on time. I promise to start varsity as point guard for my high school basketball team. Remove myself from technology to focus on family time for a minimum of 1 hour daily. Volunteer more often. So you can kind of see what the idea is, that it doesn't have to be a goal for somebody else. It can be for you. Like, not everybody will identify with starting on a varsity team, but I think everybody can strive for graduating on time, volunteering more often. That's also a great one. These are all things that are good for character, and part of discipline is making sure that you follow through on these. And it goes back to what I was just saying a few minutes ago about if you write it down, you're more likely to hold yourself accountable. And to end, I've got this quote: people with good intentions make promises, but people with good character keep them. And that goes back to having good discipline as well. So in my line of work, this deals with making sure that I get my work done on time. Make sure to treat everybody that I meet with respect and fairness, no matter what their position in the company is. I work in the corporate office, but I also go into the plants all the time. And I will tell you, there's no difference between the people on the floor in the plants than in the corporate office. That's one of Mohawk's goals, to treat all employees fairly and give them all adequate attention and show them or help guide them to reach their full potential. So in your life right now, you can think about what are some goals that you could set for yourself. Try to think of those really good character traits that you possess, because those are good things to put on your resume in the future when you are going into your first job, because you don't really have a lot of job experience. But if you are somebody that is always on time, that is very responsible, if you can show those traits within your interview and on your resume, it'll definitely shine through, and you'll be more likely to get that position. So before we wrap up, I think we've got some time for some questions if anybody has any. It's okay if you don't need it. Did anybody think of something that they would maybe consider putting down on the because I said I would?
Any specific goals that you all might have that you set for yourself? I hope some of you would put graduation as a goal.
Like I would put one, get a promotion. That would be nice. Get a raise. That would be really nice, right? And more like personal, like make sure to exercise and eat better. Those are good ones too. Be a good friend. I liked the technology one because I am on my phone too much, and I know that, so I need to be better about putting that down. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I really enjoyed talking to y'all, and sorry for the technical difficulties. No problem. All right. All right. What's your name? I'm going to go drop it when I go back to my office. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot.
All right, guys.
So one program that we have at Mohawk is called a youth apprenticeship program, and it is actually available to students that are 17 and 18. And basically what you can do is work at Mohawk part-time at one of the plants. There are a few different fields that you can go into. You can work part-time, and then you go to school part-time. And when you're done with the program, you've got an opportunity to join Mohawk full-time, and they pay for all your training. And you can actually take college classes at the same time too and work towards your associate's degree free of cost for you. Mohawk pays for all of that. And it's a really, really great way to get into some of the different plants and explore different field career options, because you've got a little bit of flexibility there, more so than when you are, you know, finally in a position. When you're in an apprenticeship, they can expose you to a lot of different possibilities. And the pay is really good, and you get benefits, and it's a really, really great program. I'm really jealous that they didn't have, well, I didn't go to high school in Georgia, but if I did, I would have definitely wanted to do that, because again, you get to take college classes for free, which even if you don't want to stay with that field of study forever per se, they could transfer and go to something else. So it's a great, great learning opportunity. And if you want to learn more about it, Dr. Moms, she can help you and get in contact with either myself or Ms. Linda McIntyre at Mohawk, who's on my team as well. She's in charge of the apprenticeship program. So it's a really, really great program. All right. No problem. I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention it.